What's up, guys? Welcome back to another MMA debate on MMA Dynasty. We have some really good discussions today. Let's just go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Lucas Tracy, Jacob Ross,
Jacob
but everyone
Ross.
else, you guys introduce yourself really quickly.
I'm Guy I'm Vega. Zoomer. Oh, you go, guys. Sorry about that.
I'm Guy Vega. I have a TikTok channel called Guy Vega, and I post mainly MMA content, and that's all there is to me.
All right.
I'm Zoomerman. I also run a MMA TikTok channel. Post MMA content. That's about it. Same as Guy, I guess.
Nice. First thing I have to say, guys, get on the YouTube grind. The YouTube MMA community is lacking a lot of young personalities. That's one thing that I've noticed. There are a lot of legends out there, like older guys that I still like, but there aren't many young MMA content creators that are like, outspoken. I feel like people that come from TikTok, I think we're good at making MMA content on YouTube just because we know how to basically reel people in. If you make a TikTok, you know how to catch them in with the beginning of the TikTok, and that's useful for YouTube. Some people, they start off their YouTube videos and it's like they're midway through a conversation. You don't know what they're talking about. And it's just, you get bored of it. But I think that people that start off on TikTok have an advantage for the YouTube MMA stuff, just because, again, it's all about reeling people in, catching them in on the hook, and then keeping them there. And I think that that's really, TikTok teaches you how to market. So I really recommend you guys get on that. But anyway, we have a lot of good discussions today. We have Alex Pereira, Adesanya fighting this weekend. I have no idea who any of you guys are choosing except for Jacob, of course. And I have some idea. And then we're going to discuss Colby Covington and Leon Edwards. There are plenty of Colby Covington fans that are saying that he's going to mop the floor with Leon. And after that, we're going to discuss GSP, Prime GSP. Would he be able to beat LeBron James if LeBron James had 3 years of MMA training? That is the next discussion. And we are going to have some differing views on that one. So let's just get into this one. Jacob, do you want to introduce the first topic, Pereira and Adesanya? Do you want to talk about the first question?
Before that, how is my sound like bad? Like, is there like
no, your sound's good. Your sound's good.
All right. So there's no wind. You guys don't hear wind or anything?
Not at all.
All right. Perfect. That's what I was just worried about. Yeah, first discussion, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. So fights coming up. We've done a lot of talking about this. But yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about this fight. I feel like there's no real reason to pick Izzy. You know what I mean? Like, other than just like a bias towards it. You know what I mean? Like, he fought his best possible fight, he lost. In MMA, fought his best possible fight in kickboxing, lost. I got knocked out. Like, first fight lost. Like, what's the reason to like pick Adesanya now? Also coming off a knockout 6 months ago. Like, I don't even think the immediate rematch was a good idea for him. Like, I think if he took some time off, maybe 8 months off, fought a Sean Strickland, someone like that, get a win, and then fight Alex Pereira. I just think that when you have only 6 months off after a knockout, it like makes it even harder to like win against the guy who's beaten you 3 times. So I just think that the odds are completely against Izzy. And I don't understand why people are actually picking Adesanya. I feel like it's honestly just bias at this point. Like, I feel like, yeah, who are you guys picking? And do you think it's like crazy for people to be picking Adesanya? Or if anyone is picking Adesanya here, like, what's the reason? Because I'm honestly very confused.
All right. How about let's do this. Let's go Zoomer. Let's go Guy, and then we'll go to me after. We'll go around like that. So Zoomer, what do you think on that? Do you think that there's a good reason to pick Adesanya? Why would people pick him? And who are you picking and why?
First off, I do think there is a good reason to pick Izzy. Like, Izzy was winning that fight. Izzy is Izzy. This is a different sport. This isn't kickboxing. But all that being said, I am going to take Alex. I have messed up Alex's name intentionally so much to make people angry in TikTok comments that I don't know how to really say it. So I always called him Pereira because that's what Chael Sonnen called him, and I thought that was funny. I'm going to be taking Alex because, first off, Izzy has traditionally done worse in rematches, right? Izzy's magic is dudes can't hit him. Like, look at the first Marvin fight, look at the first Rob fight. They didn't stand a chance. Those second fights were way more competitive. I mean, Rob arguably won the second one. I think Izzy won, but it was a way closer fight than getting knocked out essentially twice in their first fight. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Alex because I think Alex has the style to beat Izzy. I think he knows what he needs to do. I think he needs to set him up against the cage, jab him, wait for him to go left, and smash him with that left hand like he does to every single person. It could happen that Izzy gets it. I don't think the grappling is going to be much of a factor. Pereira has amazingly improved on his grappling between the Bruno Silva fight and the Izzy fight. His grappling got 3 times as good. Bruno Silva had Alex fighting for his life with genuinely, I think that's the worst takedown I've ever seen in MMA. There was no level change. He just bent at the hips and walked forward slowly. Alex was fighting for his life. The Izzy fight, he looked better. I think Alex has made the improvements. I think he hits hard. I think he's big, and I think he's got it.
I got Izzy, guys.
Whoa.
I got Izzy.
Damn.
And I know. I think that there's a lot of narratives going around in the sphere, and I'm not saying that, that I'm not going to discount what anybody else has said. Those are all very good points. I just think that to say that Izzy is going to lose largely kind of rests on the idea that Pereira can consistently beat Izzy. In my opinion, he lost the first kickboxing fight. So I think that 1 and 2 has a much worse sort of ring to it than 0 and 3. But that was sort of just, I don't know. People say that he has his number. I don't buy it. Whenever you have somebody's number, largely it looks like Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, or it looks like Volk versus Max 3. It doesn't look like you losing the first fight in kickboxing, you losing the second fight until you win, you losing the third fight for 20 something minutes until you get the finish. It doesn't look like that. That looks more like they're very close in skill, but it could go either way. That's the way that I see it. And I think if Izzy wins this, in my mind, they're 2 and 2. I think that Izzy can win by submission. I think Izzy can win using wrestling to a decision. I think that Izzy can win based on stand-up strikes outpointing Pereira. I think that Izzy can TKO Pereira. And I think that Pereira's only real path to victory is either doing what he did last time, which is taking out the legs and then getting a standing TKO, or finding a perfect shot that knocks Izzy out. And we've seen that that's kind of relatively unlikely because he had Izzy in the worst possible spot you could possibly be in, which is against the cage and your leg doesn't work, right? And he punched him somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 times. And Izzy didn't get slept. So how's he supposed to knock Izzy out at range, right? I just don't see a path to victory for Alex other than what he did last time.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I
for me,
see what you're saying. Can I jump in on this real quick?
Yeah, just jump in real quick.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing I have to say is this. I actually think that Adesanya's number 1 path to victory here is by a TKO. I think he needs a knockout, and this is why. So first of all, if you guys look at Adesanya's career, every single one of his finishes in the UFC, 4 in total, all of them come in the first or the second round. Every single one. He's never got a KO after the first or second round. What I've noticed, especially in that rematch with Robert Whittaker, in fights with guys like Marvin Vettori, and Marvin's tough as nails, I'll leave him out of it, but like Jared Cannonier, when Adesanya can't finish guys, he goes into cruise mode. And I'm not saying this is him getting bored. I'm saying this is him knowing that, okay, the finish isn't going to come easily. If it presents itself, okay, but I'm just going to outpoint this guy. Adesanya's path to do that is with his leg kick. He has to leg kick at range. Every now and then he'll chuck a front kick to the body. He'll throw a sneaky left high kick. And if you blitz him down, he's swinging the hooks like he did to Whittaker. And if he moves forward, the best weapon that he has is a right hand, which I think he can use to knock Pereira out because I think he can finish Pereira. But here's the thing. If he cannot KO Pereira in the first 2 rounds, if he can't bait Pereira in up against the fence and use his speed advantage to land that right hand, throw an offbeat hook, like the combination he rocked Pereira with was beautiful. And although I give Izzy shit all the time, that proved that he was a high-level striker. He faked the jab. Instead of throwing a 1-2, he went 1, 2, and then faked an uppercut, and then went over with the left hook. If that doesn't happen, it's 2-2
Was that
going
the interaction that convinced you, Lucas? Were you 50-50 on Izzy striking before that? Like you couldn't make up your mind?
No. I think Izzy's overrated. I think he's one of the most overrated fighters of all time. That's just what I think. But essentially, if Izzy doesn't have that moment, it's 2-2 going into the fifth. And this is why I think he needs a KO. If there was a graphic that popped up, and I'm sure you guys have seen the finishing sequence many times, right before that happens, there's a graphic that pops up, significant strikes, head, body, legs. Alex Pereira, 48 strikes to the body. Israel Adesanya, 16. Alex Pereira, 45 strikes to the legs. Israel Adesanya, 32. Adesanya, 68 to the head. Pereira, 39. Those are the exact numbers. Alex Pereira beat Adesanya at his A game, which is to stand on the outside and leg kick a range. That's what Adesanya does best. He leg kicks. That's his number one thing. When guys beat him at the A game, like a Jan Blachowicz or Alex Pereira, when they check the leg kicks and they can kick better than him, he resorts to his B game, which is now, okay, let's see what I can do with the hands. The reason why I think that Pereira wins is because he beats him at the A game and he beats him at the B game. And Adesanya's C game is to offensively grapple. Well, that's just not good enough for me to pick him. And so essentially it's just him kickboxing with Pereira for 25 minutes. He'll get out leg kicked. He'll get his leg kicks checked. And when it comes to the hands, bro, after the second round, he's on cruise mode. The last 3 rounds is just a matter of time before he's slowed down and he's not reacting as quickly. And Pereira can set up that perfect left hook with no telegraph. He's going to get it done. I think Adesanya, if you looked at that fight, it was so much closer than people give it credit to. It was right about to be 2-2 going into the fifth. Adesanya caught him. The left hook was after the bell. I think he's fucked. I do, guys. I think he's screwed. You know, I don't think he can win a decision. I think he's going to get beat. I think it's just a matter of time before he gets KO'd.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I got Pereira. I think like also in terms of the first fight, I think some things that we don't remember about that first fight, like the Pereira was winning the first round until the last 5 seconds or whatever. Pereira won the second round. Pereira was winning the third round until he engaged in some stupid like wrestling where you try to take Izzy down, and we all know what happened there. Fourth round was, what was the fourth round?
He looked like a fool on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, but like, what was the fourth round? Was it where like Pereira was just gassed out?
Adesanya controlled the fourth. He won like 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the fourth round. It looked like Pereira was getting his win back.
Was the fourth round like a grappling round? I can't really remember.
No. The third round was grappling. Fourth was all on the feet.
Adesanya. So, I mean, Adesanya won the fourth round. Then Pereira finished Adesanya in the fifth round. Like, if it wasn't for that last 5 seconds, if it wasn't for the grappling exchange, it would have been like, I mean, I think Pereira could have gotten the finish earlier, maybe. Like, he was outstriking him the whole time until he was outstriking him like for most of the fight, in my opinion. I think he won't make the same grappling mistakes that he did in the last fight. I think he's improving in the grappling. I don't think Izzy will be able to take him down, but I think if Izzy wants to win this fight, I think he should really try. Like, I mean, like, it's just gonna be a matter of if he can take Pereira down or not, in my opinion, because I don't think he's beating Pereira in a 25-minute kickboxing match. I just can't see it. You know, he lost the first 2 kickboxing fights. I know the first one was close, but he got knocked out in the second one. Pereira continued to get better at kickboxing after those Adesanya fights. Adesanya went into the UFC, you know what I mean? So I think Adesanya's best chance is if he could get Pereira down and wrestle him, or just to knock him out, since Pereira does cut a lot of weight and his chin could be fishy. But yeah, I think Pereira's gonna win. I think he's gonna win in the third round. I think first round is gonna be a bit slow, but I think Pereira's gonna take the first round. I think second round will be very close of a round. I think it's gonna be arguably an Izzy round, but some people will say it's a Pereira round. And then I think in the third round, Pereira will march forward and catch him with the left hook and put him out, honestly. But I think Izzy's best chance is either by just somehow just knocking him out because Pereira had a bad weight cut, or just like if he's able to take Pereira down, which I just can't see happening. So I think Izzy's best chance is just somehow KOing him, you know. But yeah, I think Pereira third round finish. That's my prediction.
If somebody taught Alex how to use a whizzer, I think I would bet my house on him at that point, because if he could like if he could whizzer like Paulo Costa could whizzer and stop people from taking him down, I think he'd be the best fighter in the UFC ever, maybe, because like he smashes people, and especially against Izzy, where he had such a huge size advantage. If he just like muscled his arm in and pushed him away every time it happened, I think you could be in some real trouble there.
What do you guys think Izzy's game
Izzy
plan
was
is,
shooting
though?
tons of takedowns in that fight. Not tons of them, but he shot at least 7 takedowns throughout the first few rounds. And Pereira just wouldn't budge at all. Like he picked him up at one point and Pereira just landed right back down on his feet. Of course, it was Pereira shooting a sloppy takedown. Izzy was able to reverse it. And one thing I will say is Adesanya dominated him on the ground. Pereira looked like a fool.
Yeah.
And that's why I would pick Whitaker to beat him. I think Whitaker would take him down fairly easily because it's a skill thing with Whitaker. I don't think it's necessarily even a strength thing. And I think he would wrap him up. I think even though Whitaker doesn't submit guys, I think he could submit Pereira. But like my question is, for everyone, if Pereira somehow grapples, do you think that this is going to slow him down? Because I actually think it would be a massive mistake for Pereira to grapple in this fight.
I agree.
Do you guys agree with that?
I think Izzy should grapple.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he should grapple later on because I think that in the early rounds, that's his chance. I think that when he has his speed and when his legs are under him, I think that's when he needs to strike because that's when he's
Izzy could also get knocked out. Izzy could also get knocked out if he's striking. Like, what if Izzy gasses Pereira out early on with the grappling?
But the thing is, here's my take on that. When guys are built, when they have a game that's already put in place for them, Adesanya's game throughout his career has been defensively wrestle and stay on the feet. But at this point in his career, he hasn't been really implementing offensive grappling into his game since Pereira got his title shot. You know what I mean? So like, I think that if he goes out there and tries to do something that's far from natural to him, he's going to exert so much more effort because again, when you don't have the skill, you try to grit down into it. And that means you're gonna expend more energy. This is why I think Whitaker, it doesn't matter if Pereira is much bigger. Whitaker has the skill to double leg him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whereas Adesanya is gonna have to really do everything in his power to get him down.
But the thing about
I think that gasses him out.
It comes down to though that like Adesanya you'd consider him the better grappler than Pereira. You just hope that he like is able to like be better than him and be able to take him down. Because I just think that it's just a recipe for disaster for Adesanya to just go out there and just try to strike with Pereira like the whole time. I just think that's a disaster. Like, how do you know he's gonna be able to wait till the later rounds to like start grappling? Like, he can get knocked out in the first round, he can get knocked in the second round. Like, I think for Adesanya, you try to grapple right away. Honestly, I think you'd be foolish not to.
I think the opposite actually, because Izzy's strong rounds are in the beginning, right? Like against all his stuff. He's strong in the beginning. He's fast in the beginning. He slows down, right? And Alex's strong rounds are at the end when he gets those reads, when he pushes you against the fence with that right, making you eat enough straights where you have to duck into that left, and then that left is lights out for anybody. Besides, like he knocked Sean Strickland out in the first, didn't he? But I don't know if Alex has.
Sean Strickland's got a great chin. Like I think.
Yeah, but he walked at him like a Minecraft zombie for some reason. Like I don't see like. I don't know if most of his kickboxing wins are in the later rounds. They're KOs in the later rounds.
Yeah.
I can't. Did he KO? He the dude who we need, like his first fight in the UFC, Alex Need. That was in the tail end of the second round.
Right? Yeah, second round.
That's what I thought. But like, I think he should do what Izzy should do. And granted, I'm not a professional fighter. Probably don't listen to me. But use your good rounds in the beginning. Use those rounds that won you however many championship fights. Use those rounds that made a kickboxer who can't wrestle very well a champion at mixed martial arts, the sport where grapplers reign supreme. And then once your good rounds are gone, if he's still standing there, start using some of that wrestling, right? Start using some of that other stuff in his really strong rounds to take away from them.
So what you're saying is you think that Pereira should grapple early, or you think that Izzy should grapple early? I'm sorry.
I don't think
he thinks that Izzy should just do what he does in the early rounds.
Yeah, I think
do what he does in the early
Izzy
rounds.
things in the beginning and then grapple in the end because
that's what I think. I think that's what he is going to do actually.
He's gonna get
and
caught.
that's why the way I see the knockout happening is I think it's going to be after a clinch. I think Izzy's going to be grappling in the third round. I think he's going to be in a clinch position, and I think that
he won't be as quick, he won't be as agile, and I think he'll get caught coming out of the clinch by a left hook, and I think he'll get put out like Jan did to Luke Rockhold. That's how I see it going down. Something similar with that.
I think personally that it's like underrated how much just fearing a takedown messes with somebody striking. And we see it a lot where if you are worried about the takedown, you are, just you look, you look like you're drunk or something. Like you look like 1 or 2 levels worse as a striker whenever you're worried about a takedown. So I say Izzy should go for a takedown early, even if he doesn't get it. Just give him something to think about, and then maybe don't go back to it until later. Yeah, but just make it a threat, but make it a real threat. Not like Sandhagen kind of fell into this thing with Song Yadong, where he was like going for these weird takedowns that were never going to work, just to kind of put it in Song Yadong's head. But the threat was never real, and everybody watching knew that. It was clearly just something to give him. And Song Yadong and Song Yadong's coaches all know that he was just like throwing it out there just to make you afraid. It's like, no, you make the threat real.
Yeah, I agree with you I think that's a good idea also, but I just think the thing about like this matchup, I also think that we're not remembering like we saw it affect Usman in the rematch, like going against the guy 6 months after getting finished, like has a real toll on your Lucas, you're on mute.
Saying, and this is 6 months after he's been finished, and then before that,
he's got
KO'd out cold.
He got KO'd by the guy, and lost him in the first time. So I think like the mental aspect too, and I think the last fight was Izzy's best chance to beat this guy, and I just don't like he fought a nearly perfect fight and still lost. Like, what if Pereira doesn't get in that stupid grappling exchange in the last fight? Like, I think like. Could see a whole different fight. What if Pereira doesn't do like marching in the end of the first round and just takes it a bit slower? Like, I just think that, and also the mental thing. I just think I think mentally Izzy like may seem okay right now, but once they get in the cage, he's gonna look across the guy who's finished him 6 months ago, finished him fucking in kickboxing, beat him in kickboxing, like. I think mentally it's gonna really fuck with him just like it did with Usman too. And I think, I mean, I don't know I think Izzy, I don't necessarily think it'll really. I think Pereira's just better, like just figures out a way, honestly, no matter what. And I think he's gonna finish him. But I think mentally Izzy's gonna be scared shitless, honestly.
Okay. Well, to your point, because this is technically a debate, I have to interject as the only Izzy defender. But, I suppose without the grappling exchange, maybe Izzy would have gotten finished sooner. But also, if there was 2 grappling exchanges, he would have won an easy decision, right?
I mean,
and for the mental, I'm not sure what's going on with. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
So what I was just gonna say is that the Izzy couldn't take down Pereira before Pereira did tried taking him down and Izzy reversed it. So, I don't know if Izzy would have taken him down if it wasn't for that reversal, which gassed Pereira out.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I don't think Alex should wrestle at all. He's a kickboxer, not a wrestler. You won world title after world title after world title in kickboxing, not wrestling. So, but again, he's a professional. He probably knows what he's talking about. We're also all forgetting what really sparked Alex smoking him is Glover being like, dude, what are you doing? Go get him. So what happens if Glover's yelling at Alex round 1, smacks him in the ass, says, go get him, and Alex just walks across that octagon like a warrior and knocks his head off immediately? I don't 100%
caught.
That's
Damn, that would be a fucking statement. But I honestly I always like to see at least a few good minutes of a scrap. I never like to see the first 10-second KO. I want to see some bit of a scrap. It's always a little bit of a disappointment when the fight's 10 seconds. But I get it though. If he KOs Izzy in the first round, I mean that'll be crazy. I think that'll be nuts.
I do not think that's going to happen. I just thought it would be funny if he did.
Wait, guys, if you had to say for either of these guys, what would you do if you? I mean, obviously we're not fighters, but what would you do game plan wise to win this fight though, for either guy to win? Like if you're Izzy, what do you think the game plan should be? If you're Alex, what do you think the game plan should be for? What do you guys think?
I think that for Alex, I think he should stay patient. He should chew up the legs of Adesanya, pressure him up against the fence, out jab him, and again, just straight shots down the pipe. Eventually, Adesanya is going to get tired of getting hit with a jab, getting hit with the right hand. And when you take away his base, when you slow the legs down and you've been stuffing some takedowns, eventually he's not going to react as quick to that left hook that isn't telegraphed. And I think that that's what he should do. And I honestly think that, again, I don't think he should wrestle at all. I think Pereira should just stay composed, let the fight come to him, and impose his will. Not go out there and swing with Adesanya, but like just be the bully. Be the guy that's like, all right, I'm going to impose my will. I'm going to push you up against the fence. And that's where we're striking. You know what I mean? Because I think he out leg kicks Izzy. I think his leg kicks are better than Izzy. I think his body work is better than Izzy. His clinch work. I saw him going to the body in the clinch, knees to the body. And he just looks like he's overall a little bit ahead of Izzy everywhere the fight goes with the striking. Again, like this dude was fighting Artem Vakitov. And I looked at his fights with Artem Vakitov, this like kickboxer and glory Russian guy. He doesn't look that intimidating, but like, my goodness, that guy is unreal. Like if that dude were to come to the UFC, I feel like he could be a champion too. If he learns how to stop takedowns. And, you know, meanwhile, we have Adesanya fighting a Jared Cannonier. And like, I just think that the level of striking, although it's somewhat close, I still think Pereira is just, because of the size and the reach, I just think he's better in general. So I think he just needs to keep it on the feet, and it's going to be a win for him. That's what I think. Just for Izzy, I think he needs to take risks. I think he needs to go in there with the mindset of, I'm going to take this guy's head off, and I'm faster than him, and I'm going to wait for him. I'm going to pick a shot to counter off of, and I'm going to counter him, and I'm going to try to put him out. I think he needs to try to jump on him early.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. What about you guys? Zoomer and
I think Izzy needs to jab and leg kick.
what if Pereira's checking all the leg kicks?
Don't let him.
But he doesn't even have a great jab.
Yeah.
Whitaker out jabbed him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I thought, okay, like, what do you think Izzy's best weapons are? Because in my opinion, I think it's the right hand with his hands. I think it's the right hand. That's his most lethal weapon against high level strikers, you know? But what would you say is his way to KO Alex? Like, what kind of a setup? What kind of a fight?
I don't know. I don't know that he can, other than getting like extremely tricky like that. You know, sort of shades of what we saw last time. I think that like he potentially could TKO him like on the feet, but I mean, it's never been like, the problem is that if you're Pereira, you kind of like, okay, let me ask you this. Do you guys think that Pereira can win a decision?
Yeah. So I think
Yes.
he breaks Izzy. I think he breaks
But
Izzy.
hold on. I think, and I know this is crazy to say, but I think that they're more likely to rob Pereira than they are. And hold on, I'm just saying, if there is a robbery, I think we all know who it's probably going to go to. I think it's probably safe to say that. If it's a close fight and it's a benefit of the doubt, it's probably going to go to Izzy. But I think that Pereira can win. I think he can, because we're all forgetting, like, Pereira could hurt Adesanya and drop him and maybe not even finish him, and that's a round for him. That's a 10-8. And then maybe Adesanya just stays alive for the rest of the fight but gets outpointed. That could happen.
Mm-hmm. My
But I
point
think
is,
it's
like, let's
more
say
like
I'm from
that.
the future. I'm like, hey, I'm from the future, and it goes to a decision, and there is no robbery. And that's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you who wins, but it goes to decision, and there is no robbery. Who do you think won?
Pereira.
Wow.
Izzy for sure.
I mean, it's hard to say because, like, Izzy was 3-1 up the last fight, but I'm going to say Pereira. And this is why. I saw Jan Blachowicz going into into the fourth round where he grappled. I thought it was 3-0, but at best for Adesanya, it was 2-1 Blachowicz. That's 2 rounds on the feet to Blachowicz. I think that Pereira is as good, if not better than Jan. Now, my personal opinion on Jan, I think he's the most underrated striker in the UFC right now, in MMA in general. I think the Jan is criminally underrated. We saw
I'd
what he
agree
did
with
to
that. I'm a Jan
Magomed.
fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Jan fan. We saw what he did to Rakic too, checking his kicks, and Rakic, you know, was obviously hurt his leg in that fight. I
That
think
leg
that
made of steel. Look what he did to
I think
Magomed's
that
legs,
Pereira
bro.
can do the same thing. Yeah, his legs are literally like tree trunks. You know what I mean? So I think Pereira could beat him by decision the same way Jan did. Just outstrike him. I think
Don't you
he'd
think
do
the
it.
Jan fight is like massively, all the stand up in the Jan fight was like massively impacted by the fact that Jan could just bear hug him, and the fight was, or that round was essentially gone for Izzy.
But the thing is, Jan didn't do that early on. You know, he did have a submission attempt. I think it was either the second or third where he grabbed Adesanya's neck. But it was a fight on the feet, and I think that Izzy was actually trying to take his head off. And again, it was as simple as it's not that there was a threat of the takedown, even though Jan wasn't really shooting takedowns early on. He was giving that look later on in the fight, which is really smart. But it was the leg kick game. Izzy lost that. He couldn't leg kick with Jan. And when he tried to throw his hands, he wasn't touching him. And that was it. It was like the same thing that I saw with Whitaker. After the first round where Adesanya dropped Whitaker, like, it's not that Whitaker was doing that much. This is why the fight was kind of boring. It's that, like, both of them weren't doing a lot, but Adesanya was doing like almost nothing. I don't even know what got into him. It's like he just pulled back on like 50% of his output after the first round in the Whitaker fight. I don't know what happened there, but Whitaker is just another good striker. And I think that, again, if Adesanya doesn't hurt Pereira, I think he gets outstruck. And if Pereira doesn't try to shoot that sloppy takedown, who knows? It could be 3-1 going into that.
I also think the thing if you beat Izzy, to beat Izzy, you have to beat him in the leg kick game. I think that's
the thing for me.
I
That's
think
why
Pereira
I'm ultimately picking Pereira.
And I think Pereira beats him in the leg kick game every day of the week, you know? So yeah, I think ultimately Pereira, you know, for Izzy to win, in my opinion, the best strategy for Izzy to win, I think, is just to grapple, you know, and just hope that you can take Pereira down. But or just go crazy and just try to just knock him out. Like, you know,
I think he should do that because
try to knock him out.
I feel like
early. You have to do it early,
dude.
though. You got to do it early.
Speed advantage, you know. He's not going to do that, but I would love to see Adesanya just straight up try to go to war with him and KO.
I think the thing is, though, I think like if Izzy's not having success with the grappling, the longer the fight goes, the better it's for Pereira, you know.
That's why I think Pereira would win by decision. You know, like,
yeah.
If here's the thing, the future. If I were to tell you, you know, if someone were to tell me the fight ended in a KO in the first round, I actually wouldn't mind saying, Adesanya won, because I think that really early on, I think that Adesanya's speed is an issue for a guy like Pereira. His counter striking is an issue, and I actually think that if he were to get, I think if a KO came in the first round, I would actually bet on it being Adesanya.
I don't know if I'd bet
Alex
on it being Adesanya.
KO people. He like catches them with traps. That's what he like.
Alex sets
it's not
up
just stand in the pocket and bang. It's a watch, snipe you. It's like a pseudo Cheeto Vera style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, he's more active with the kicks as well.
And if I'm Pereira, I'm slowing this fight down. And I'm just leg kicking, you know, a bunch of leg kicks, checking Izzy's kicks, body kicks, just slowing the fight down, you know, and just breaking him for time. That's what I would do if I'm Pereira.
My question for all of you guys is this the most is this fight the most hyped up you've been for a fight this year, or would you say there's another fight? What do you guys think?
I think John Jones.
Makachev and Volk.
For me.
That was so hype, but there's a Burns fight coming up, so I'm more hyped for that.
Zoomer man, I remember that you were like one of the few guys that was giving Volk a big chance. So like you definitely were right on that shit, bro. Because like, you know, I, including a lot of other people, wrote him off. But Guy, did you pick Makachev or did you pick Volk?
I said Makachev, but it's going to be closer than you think.
Okay, so like you both of you guys were right on that shit. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm probably Volkanovski's one of his biggest fans. And I said he was going to get squashed like a bug. So I was scared.
I'll be honest with you. I thought Makachev was going to win. I thought it was going to be closer than people thought. I was kind of in Guy's boat, but I picked Volk because it upset people and got me engagement in my comments. And I did like having something, because like half the time when you're talking about something with like a group like this, you're like, oh, well, we all think the same thing and we have had no discourse or any interesting conversation. So you kind of got to pick something else.
Of course. But
I was more excited
thought
for
that
John
Volk won.
Jones,
Did you
though.
guys think that Volk won? It's at the end.
No, I did
No.
not. I wish you did.
I thought he did. I'm the only one. Damn. Yeah.
I mean, look, I think these rounds were very close. I think the factor that like we just didn't expect it to be like this kind of made people a bit biased with thinking Volk won the fight. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah, I
agree
think
with that,
that's
but at the
definitely
same
fair.
time, like those rounds, if you really watch it, it comes down to the fourth, in my opinion. I think Volk stole 2 rounds other than the fourth. And I think it comes down to what you think about that fourth round where he has
I
his
mean,
back.
the fourth round, Volk was just giving these stupid little pillow punches. I mean, I don't think that really.
Yeah,
But the thing is,
I don't think that counts
he's
as winning that
laughing in the
position.
face of Islam.
Okay, he's laughing,
Mhm.
but that doesn't.
And he
give you,
outstruck
like,
him before that. So you're looking
He
at
wasn't outstriking him before that.
Yes, he was.
No, he
Yes, he
wasn't.
was.
It's like saying
it was
Cody
like
Garbrandt's
13.
winning
It
that
was like
fight by
13.
dancing,
I
you know,
remember.
like-
I tallied up every single strike on the feet before the takedown. Volk's was like, it was like 13-8. That means something. That means a lot, especially
but
when
then-
Islam
but
doesn't
then-
do anything.
But then Volk, when Islam had his back, it wasn't like Islam landed landed some strikes
Yeah, for
too.
sure.
It wasn't like I feel like if you having your back is a dominant position, and like Volk
Yeah.
was supposed to try to
But
get
it
out of
but
that
it
rather
is
than
when
just
you're
throw
like Piotr
this.
Jan freaking out, trying to like fight the wrist against Aljo, and Aljo's like punching you
Yeah,
like
but
this.
like
it's-
Volk's job in that is to get out of that. You know what I mean? It's not to throw these little lazy like strikes.
But the thing is, I think that again, because that's such a dominant position, there's basically sometimes there's just no way to get out of it if a guy's a good body lock.
He
on you.
would have.
So therefore, I
counts.
almost think of the fact that you don't do anything with that position, like it's almost on.
I mean,
you
it's
do
worse to
something
not
from
do
there.
anything, but obviously, but still, like your job in that position as a fighter is to get out of the rear naked choke, or like that. Have your
Your
back-
job is not to get in it.
No, I meant like
Your
Yeah,
job is not
get
to
out
get
of
in
your.
it in the first place,
meant
but
to, like,
also, but your job
guy
while
off
you're
his
in it,
back.
if you can't get out, what's your job if while you're in it and you can't get out?
I mean,
You
to
punch the
throw,
guy.
but like those don't do anything. That's not like damage.
But it's he mogged him.
Well,
He did
how?
mog him.
But
He
think of the
mogged him.
squeeze of Islam, right?
The
Because
thing is-
when
Yeah.
Islam got Charles tapped like there was a car on his
Yeah,
chest.
for sure.
Like just absolutely fuck this. I want nothing to do with that. Body, like something that's underappreciated by people who don't grapple is how tiring and like it hurts to have somebody have a body triangle, have somebody squeeze, and especially an absolute animal like Islam
That's
squeezing
true,
you. Like
that's
that is a genuine point of damage. Like that hurts more than Volk's punches. Like those.
I know,
But
those
hurt,
little
but you know what hurts
punches-
more? To try to hold a fucking what's that Australian animal called? Tasmanian devil in a body lock. That probably hurts more.
Yeah, but like I
Exactly.
just can't see these little punches. Like how can you give someone a round for doing
But
these?
you know what? You know what it
punches?
is for me? I almost looked at that moment again. The reason I say Mog, it's because it's like Islam's best position is a top tier position on the ground, a mount or a body lock, and Volk's sitting here laughing at him, talking to him. It's like he's not in danger at all, punching him in the face.
But he couldn't
That
get
does not
out.
look like a man that's in danger to me.
But he couldn't get. He should have got out of the position then.
He can't, dude. I don't know.
I think
Also, I
that
think the
based off
crowd-
of damage, Volk definitely won. And rules is written.
Yes,
you're
dude.
supposed to like it's effective striking and effective grappling. And you could argue that put somebody in a body triangle and they can't get out, but they also can't do anything is not effective grappling. But that being said, the way that we actually have been scoring fights has not been in line with the actual rules as written. And for that reason, it would be unfair to the fighters if we switched up now and actually started abiding by the rules, right?
But I think that
I think having somebody
you
in a
need
body
to
triangle
abide by the
definitely
rules.
counts
I
as-
just think. Wait, what were you saying?
I said I think holding somebody down and having a body triangle, like holding a body triangle on somebody, definitely counts as effective.
Not just like
grappling.
sitting on somebody.
It does. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It does when the person being held down isn't doing anything. That's the difference. Like if you're holding someone down and they're like, again, they're just like a baby on its back. I understand that's to you. That's to the guy with the control time. But the thing is, if you're like Aljamain Sterling and you're holding someone down, you're also punching them. That's to them.
I
But
mean, Jan
if there's a guy being held
Islam
down
was punching
and
him
he's
too, though.
elbowing you from
He
the
was-
bottom, it doesn't
he
matter if
wasn't
you're on
elbowing
top
him
of
from
them
the
if you're
bottom.
getting elbows to the head.
He was landing these little like bunny punches.
Lucas.
Like,
They were harder than that, dude.
no,
Lucas,
Yes,
if you
Islam
had to
was
fight
landing
a
some
clone of
bunnies, dude.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
You had to fight another Lucas.
Sure.
And you had to pick a position. You either had to be locked up in a body triangle like no one's business, and your guts are being squeezed. Your head is being squeezed, and each one of your wrists is being grabbed and rolled underneath you. And you know if you fuck up for a minute, there's going to be an arm wrapped around your neck, and the lights are going to go out.
Sure.
Or you can pick the guy with the body triangle. But
Oh shit.
Hold up. He cut out, dude.
Lucas would mog himself. He would mog
my
himself.
thing is
He would be the- he'd
spasming.
be
I
the kind-
apologize.
Okay, what was the but?
But if you're in the body triangle, you get to rabbit punch him a couple times. That's your that.
But
that's
it's not a
that's the
couple
thing.
times. Okay. This is what it really is. I can either be on the guy's back and I can have a body triangle, and I know that this dude's so good at submission defense, I just can't submit him. So I can try to squeeze my legs tighter, or I can be the guy who knows he can't get submitted, who's trained with Craig Jones for 4 months, trained specifics, and can just laugh at this guy while the crowd starts hyping me up. And I'm the cool motherfucker in the building. That's what I think. That's what actually happened.
I mean, Islam was
fair
also
point, that's
landing
fair point.
strikes on him too, though.
I mean, think about that. That got the crowd going. Can you imagine Petr Yan fighting in Russia and the crowd chanting when Aljamain Sterling is like on him and rolling around and punching him? That they wouldn't do it because Petr Yan wasn't laughing at Aljamain Sterling. He was fighting for his life. Volk was not fighting for his life. This is why I think Volk is like such a savage, because, you know, obviously anyone else in that position is probably freaking the fuck out, you know? And actually,
Volk's not in danger. He can't get choked. He has no neck. You know, it's like head and shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
I think
but
that's Islam's mistake in that fight. He's trying to
choke him. I think he needs to take his arm or
You
something.
gotta grab an arm.
Take an arm.
Yeah. But one more thing I want to say about the Izzy fight. I want to say just really quickly. So this is probably the most hyped up I've been for a fight in a long time, just because Izzy and Pereira, it's such a fun matchup. It's going to be a good fight. Who do you want to win? And then why? That's my last question. Guy, we'll start with you because you want Israel Adesanya to win, I'm guessing. Maybe not, but you're picking him. So why do you want him to win? Just really quickly, and why would you rather him be the champ, essentially?
So I like Izzy a lot. I like Pereira a lot as well. I don't like him as much as Izzy necessarily. I want him to win because I think that he's the best in the division. And I hate it when, like, for example, we have a rock, paper, scissors situation where a Robert Whittaker could beat Pereira, but Izzy can beat Robert Whittaker, but Pereira can beat Izzy. Because then it doesn't feel like there's a very satisfying champion. Meanwhile, if Izzy wins, it just shows he's clearly better than everybody else. He can beat everybody else. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. What about you,
to know that
Zuma,
somebody, the best fighter in the division is the champion. Okay.
Got it.
Right.
I want Alex to win, right? Because first off, I make a lot of like whatever content where you hype stuff up, right? And you talk about the storylines and whatever. And if I have to say 3-1, that is so much less cool than 4-0, first off.
Yeah.
And then the middleweight division kind of blows, right? Like it's not I don't think that's a controversial statement. I'd like to see it shook up a little. Izzy's kind of held that down. I'd like to see Izzy have to go fight some like really scrappy guys. He'd have to really scrap to get back up there. I'd like to see Robert Whittaker, Cannonier, somebody like that get a title shot, and just a little bit of change at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I want Alex to win. I wouldn't, believe it or not, I wouldn't be pissed if Izzy won though. Like, I mean, I think if Izzy wins, I think they put Chimaev right against Izzy right away. And I would love to see that fight, you know, because Chimaev would be champ. I think if Pereira wins, I think he moves up and fights Jamal Hill probably, which could hold up the division a bit, which I don't want to see. But I still do want Pereira to win. I think Izzy, I don't like how Izzy took the loss, you know what I mean? Complaining about the early stoppage, stuff like that, you know. And yeah, I think a lot of Izzy fanboys are pretty annoying. And not you, don't worry, but some other Izzy fanboys are pretty annoying, and it'd be nice for them to get humbled again. So, and I also think that also the other thing is that like I was watching Embedded today, and like Izzy has all this money, everything, you know. Pereira, like I'm sure is starting to make some money, but he's still not like there yet. And like on the Embedded he was like, I'll get a boat he's like, they're like, oh, is this your boat? And he's like, oh, not yet, but someday. And he's like, someday, and that was just kind of like damn, like you want this guy to become rich and successful, which Izzy is already.
You gonna make me feel bad for picking Izzy. I feel bad all of a sudden.
Did you guys see that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see the first episode yet. I was gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah, but so Alex Pereira was at the window. There's boats, and they were like, oh, which one's your boat? And he was like, oh, no, but someday I'll get it.
Why would they ask him that? He's in Miami. He doesn't even live in
Florida. I don't know.
He lives in Connecticut.
Though. It was in Portuguese though. So
he lives in Connecticut?
Yeah, he lives he's like he trains an hour away from me.
You were talking.
I'm gonna go and meet him. I'm gonna interview him someday. I'm gonna actually go to the same gym. I know what gym he trains at for strength and conditioning. I've never been there. It's like 45 minutes away from me. So
That is the least Connecticut-looking person I've ever seen in my life.
I was gonna say you're gonna tell me
because that's where Glover lives. So he moved to Connecticut to chill with Glover to stay there.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't be that.
Can you imagine being downtown Connecticut and seeing Glover and Alex just walking around like chilling?
I know, that'd be surreal. Like that's exactly the last place you would expect to see these Brazilian champions.
I just wouldn't be that upset if Izzy won though this time, because like I think it'd be different than if Izzy won the last time. You know what I mean? But I think this time, like, they put him right against Chimaev. Like, what other fight makes sense at the moment for Izzy? You know what I mean? They're not going to do Robert Whittaker 3. Like, that fight's not selling anything. Like, Chimaev's, like, big star. I mean, obviously, he lost some hype not fighting, but I still think that fight would sell a lot of pay-per-views. And, and I think Chimaev would win. So I'd want to see that. I mean, I don't want to see Izzy win, but I wouldn't be that upset if that happened. But it would also be cool if Alex Pereira fought Jamal Hill. But I just hope that doesn't. I hope he vacates the belt before moving up. But I want Alex Pereira to win, but I wouldn't be pissed if Izzy won. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. Like, I obviously want Pereira to win. Number one, it's because I want to be right. Because again, I post on YouTube too, and if you get a prediction wrong, the narrative is you suck at predicting. You don't know shit about MMA. That's just how it is. And I want to get another main event right. This would be my third main event pick in a row. Number two, the reason I don't like Adesanya is because when I watch his vlogs, I like him. I actually like Adesanya. I watch his vlogs and I think like, wow, this is a chill vlog. I'm not seeing anything that I dislike right now. It's just, I think he's so overhyped and overrated and lionized, and I don't agree with it. So I think that I want to see a guy who is, I know is a really high level kickboxer, take out Adesanya, who I think is just a little bit overrated, so that I can be, my theory is right and I'm not delusional. That's what I think. Number three is Pereira obviously hasn't like made all that money. Izzy's made a ton of money. But you're right, Jacob. If Izzy wins, I feel like that's a perfect opportunity for Hamzat to slide in. So I wouldn't be upset, but it's almost like you want him to win so he could lose his next one. So that's not like real. The truth is, I don't even mind Izzy that much. It's just, I just feel like the UFC overhypes him and overrates him too much, especially like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's my number one.
Oh, style bender, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'll be rooting for Pereira to win. If Izzy wins, listen, it's like I'll have to get shit on for the next 2 months for getting this pick wrong. So
Chimaev will fucking submit him in the first round.
Yeah. But that's an easy pick. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like getting a Chimaev pick there wouldn't be as satisfying because it's a grappler. It's satisfying when you get a striker pick right. Or you know what I mean? Or like
the thing is though, what happens if Pereira wins? Like they're gonna do Whittaker versus Chimaev for the vacant belt, and that's just not as
that obviously that's not as fun, but at the same time, let's be honest. I mean, that's the most competitive fight.
Yeah, anyway. That's true. That's a good fight, but I don't want to see that fight though, obviously, because I like both those guys. But You don't
want to see Whittaker Hamzat?
I do.
He's a Hamzat. He's the biggest Hamzat fan, so that's why he doesn't want to see it.
But no,
okay, that makes sense.
No, but I also love Whittaker too, and one of those guys gonna have to lose.
Good news for that, huh?
I would cheer for Hamzat because I think Whittaker's lost.
Whittaker's has it all. I mean, he still really has
already. He was champ already. Chimaev's undefeated. Like also Chimaev's has a chance to be a bigger star too. Like, you know what I mean? Like Chimaev has a chance to be a huge star if he keeps winning, why wouldn't we want a huge star who's like dominating people, you know what I mean? So I think Chimaev as
Yeah.
a champ would be amazing for the sport. And that's one of the reasons why I like him, and I like his fighting style also, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, Chimaev's not a welterweight, but speaking about the welterweights, Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. I see so many people picking Colby, and they're just assuming that Leon is just they just keep doubting Leon at the end of the day. Going into the first Usman fight, they doubted him. Going into this Usman fight, they doubted him. I kind of doubted him a little bit going into this one. I thought Usman was going to win a decision, a really close decision. But yeah, they continue to doubt him. Colby, somehow, the guy who lost to Usman twice, is the favorite against Leon Edwards, which is just crazy to me. And today I rewatched the RDA versus Colby Covington fight, which was in 2018, where Colby was 31 years old, I believe. And it was a very close fight. And RDA is a 155 pounder. You know what I mean? And Colby now is 35. You can't tell me he's gotten better since then, or you know what I mean? He probably hasn't, So, and that fight was really close. And we saw what Leon Edwards did to RDA, which was way worse than Colby Covington did to RDA, when Leon Edwards was worse. I just think Leon Edwards has been very active. Colby has not been. I think Leon Edwards has this momentum. He's very confident. And I think he's going to fuck up Colby 50-45, honestly. That's my prediction.
Wow.
I think he's just going to fuck him up. I think Colby, I just don't think Colby's going to have much success. I think Leon's very strong too, compared to a guy like Colby too. And I think Colby isn't really going to be able to take him down like he did a Masvidal, an old washed up Masvidal, old washed up Robbie Lawler. RDA, he took down 7 times, but RDA took him down twice. You know what I mean? That fight was very close. And I think Leon Edwards may have better takedown defense than RDA, who's a 55 pounder. Maybe RDA is a better pound for pound grappler than Leon Edwards. I'd probably say so. But I think
he got out grappled by Leon.
But I think overall as a grappler, he may be a bit better.
Yeah,
but,
I mean offensively maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Leon better takedown defense at 70 and a better grappler at 170 pounds. So I think Colby's gonna get fucked up. I think Leon is just gonna piece him up on the feet. Colby has such I don't want to say he's bad striking. He's just so sloppy with his striking. He throws some windmill punches, kind of like Usman a bit. He's got a bit heavier hands than Usman. I also think that Leon doesn't need to fear getting hurt by Colby on the feet. We got to remember, Usman isn't the best striker, but he's got tons of power, knockout power. And Leon not only had to worry about the takedowns, he had to worry about getting knocked out. And I think when you're fighting Colby, you don't need to worry about getting knocked out. So I think that'll make a huge difference. I think Leon's gonna just fuck him up at range for 5 rounds. Just 50-45 him, honestly. But what do you guys think?
I think Leon knocks him out.
Ooh, what round?
I think that there was 2 or 3 moments that he was fighting Usman, who was a better striker than Colby, where he hit Usman with some crazy punches, but luckily Usman's head is an actual bowling ball. Colby's not taking those.
Is this in the rematch with Usman or the trilogy?
The rematch, the third one. One of them specifically was the clinch knee.
Yeah,
Colby's
dude,
falling down. Colby's at best for Colby, he's falling down.
Yeah.
No, but if he clinches with Colby, he's getting smashed in the cage, right?
But he was able to clinch with Usman though.
Yeah, but Usman's not as good of an upright fence wrestler as Colby is. Colby mostly took him down in that. They didn't count that. He should have had. I thought he had the hips, but who knows?
I don't know. I mean, I think Usman's just a better.
Colby definitely took Usman down. That's for sure.
I just think Colby's a worse version of Usman in terms of just everything. I
disagree with that. I disagree with that on the point of when he gets his opponents down, Colby is more draining than Usman. Usman can definitely I'll talk about 2 narratives. One thing that I think that Colby's better at is, again, draining people once he has them down. We've seen Colby. I think he has better jiu-jitsu than Kamaru Usman. He's better offensively on the ground. He has better ground and pound. He has better submission attempts. But
who is Colby doing that to? He has submitted
a couple. Huh?
Who is Colby doing that to though? I think
he did it. I know. No, that's why I'm gonna pick. That's why I'm gonna pick Leon. But in general, Colby is more exhausting to grapple with, and when he gets you down, once he gets a good position, he can really, really tire you out, and he can land good strikes. Is able to beat the shit out of Masvidal and Woodley, and Robbie Lawler, and obviously these guys are not Leon Edwards, so I don't think he does it. But one thing that I think that people don't give Leon enough credit for is the fact that he beat a guy at the pace of Usman. Everyone talks about the pace of Colby. Yeah, I know he has a crazy pace. It might be
Usman
just
does
a smidge
too.
better. Colby, yeah, it might be a smidge better than Colby's. But that being said, like Usman has one of the craziest paces ever. He has some of the best cardio we've ever seen. That's why his nickname is CEO of EPO. The guy
And Leon
is a
took the
fucking
later
cardio
rounds.
machine.
And Leon
the thing
took
is,
round 5. And
exactly.
round 4.
Leon was literally beating this man. The only round you could possibly give to Usman if you really tried was, what was it, the third or second round where there was a point? Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, like, Leon just beat a guy who has a furious pace, and he beat him. I mean, if you look at the first fight, he landed a lot of damage. He did well in that. And then the rematch, like, he was catching Usman when Usman still had the chin before the KO in that rematch. And then the third fight, the biggest adjustment he made is instead of trying to clinch with Usman or try to strike with him up against the cage, he would just wait for Usman to throw, and he would counter by just moving off laterally. And I think he does the same thing to Colby. And when it's out in the center, Colby doesn't have a jab to save him. He doesn't have one-shot knockout power.
Doesn't have the reach.
I think that he doesn't have the reach. Exactly. Usman has a long.
I think he has the double leg to save him, though. He's got the cage wrestling, right? Because Leon in the third fight at least beat that wasn't the Nigerian Nightmare. That was Kamaru Usman, right? Like that. That's the best way I can put that. That was a guy who was just gonna walk him down, and okay, I couldn't take him down right now. Let's let him back up, right? Well, I guess he's got my wrist. There's no need going for that. Like I think he really wanted to finish.
He didn't have many moments where he was even able to collide with Edwards up against the fence, and that's the thing. It's like
Colby's gonna have to get him on the fence though to do that.
Colby's gonna have to push him up against the fence, and I think that Edwards showed that he has a way to deal with that, which is just cruising off to the side.
Yeah, but he also like Usman is Leon is Mr. Elbows from the clinch, right? And like I think if he clinches with Colby, he's gonna get pushed into the cage. He's gonna get slowly ground down. And we saw that Leon has an issue when there's cardio, or not when there's cardio, right? Like it was at Salt Lake City, everybody got tired, but he didn't do great when he got tired. Colby Covington is Mr. Make You Tired. Masvidal hit Covington one time in 5 minutes in the fifth round of their fight, and I know that's Masvidal.
He also cut him in the second round though with an elbow.
Who?
Masvidal cut Colby in the second round with an elbow.
But he still got dominated by Colby.
Yeah, but like
24
Masvidal wasn't that bad on the feet compared to Colby, like against Colby. Like he landed some good strikes.
But yeah,
I agree with that. But like Colby is like top 5, top 3 most exhausting guys in the UFC to fight. And he's so willing to hold you into that cage, and you can boo all you want. That's kind of what he likes. He likes hearing that. That's the same as cheering. Like he wants the people to be angry. He wants that. And I think I'm not 100% on Colby's side here. I don't know he's going to win, but I think he does definitely have a case to win.
For sure. I think so too. But the reason why I would say that, Colby's able to go out there and dominate these guys is because, and you look at his resume, we're looking at Damian Maia, who was good at the time, who was like ranked number 2 or number 3 in the world. Again, one-dimensional. You have a guy like RDA. RDA is good, but he's not
just got
a big 170-pounder, and he's never been like a guy. Like, let's be honest, dude. Edwards is phenomenal. Edwards is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the UFC. Like, Colby's beating guys like Robbie Lawler, Old Man, Tyron Woodley. He's exposing these guys that are somewhat one-dimensional. Edwards can do it all. Yes, he's not the best offensive grappler, but I've seen him out-grapple guys like RDA. I've seen him out-grapple guys like Kamaru Usman in moments, like Nate Diaz was able to take down Diaz. He was able to go out there and out-grapple Gunnar Nelson, who's also a good grappler. And I just think that, like, Colby, for the first time, is fighting a guy that is really phenomenal striker who's tall, who's rangy, who's big, who's strong, that can also defensively grapple. And I look at it, it's like Colby's fighting a tougher version of RDA, who's much more dangerous and tricky on the feet. And Colby's now 35, and this guy is coming off of 2 wins over Usman. What's that going to do to his confidence? I mean, he just, whether or not it was Nightmare or Usman or Marty, it doesn't matter. I think that Colby's wins over him nonetheless. I mean, Leon's wins over him speak volumes. Colby dropped 2 L's to Usman. I mean, like, I know his fans will say he won the second one, but that's just not true. I think he
Yeah, I
got
don't
beaten.
agree with that either. But yeah, I'm not saying he 100% beats him, but I think it is a very 50-50 fight if he can keep him off him. Colby has a chin, despite like I don't think he's ever been knocked out. Usman broke his jaw in the first fight, if I'm not wrong. But like he's a solid guy, and he keeps coming forward. So I don't know. It's very possible. That cardio king thing is I have such a hard time betting against that type of fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Colby could for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Colby wins. I just think that also we got to remember that Colby hasn't fought in so long. Like, there's gonna be some ring rust there, like especially against such an active fighter like Leon, you know, who has this momentum, and I think that could be a factor too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I wonder how long it was before the Robbie Lawler fight that Colby had fought. I think he fought RDA, then he fought Lawler. So I think it was actually a whole year that he had out.
I'll look up Colby's.
And he still looked good. So I mean, it might affect him a little bit, but
he's also 35 now though. Like it's like like that could like it affects him more like over age, you know what I mean, as you get older.
How old is Leon?
Leon's
31.
Oh damn. I thought he was older than that, but who knows?
20. Yeah, I mean, he pretty much a year. He fought Lawler over a year after Dos Anjos.
Yeah. Damn.
And
I also think that Colby as a champion would be really hard to get in the cage. So
yeah, I think Colby would never fight and he would refuse to fight guys like Shavkat or Bilal, and it would just be a disaster. And I'm
Dude, if they make Colby versus Bilal, that might be a title fight I do not watch.
No, but like he's not gonna
like you don't like Bilal, huh? Like most
no, I'm a
huh?
Bilal hater.
I mean, but like Shavkat, like, do you really think Colby's gonna like he's gonna do whatever it takes to avoid a fight with a guy like Shavkat? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially since there's no good nicknames there. You know, you can't call.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna want the McGregor fight so badly. And all that. So I don't. He'll fight once a year. You know, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Leon's active. You know, he's gonna fight 3 times a year this year potentially. Leon, you know, like he's gonna fight. He fought already this year. He's gonna fight in July. If he wins, he's gonna fight again before the end of the year. And like that's what you want in a champion, especially in like a division like the welterweight division, which is always super entertaining. So, but regardless, though, I think Shavkat beats whoever. But
I think
Lucas,
hard to argue.
You
I
agree?
think
You guys
right
agree?
now, I think Edwards would mash him up. Right?
Really?
Like if you give Shavkat some time, yeah, maybe. But I think
what about after Shavkat
up by the
smokes
top
Bilal? What about after Shavkat smokes Bilal?
oh, I'll be full team Shavkat.
All right, yeah.
If he can
Unless he
like
fights Burns.
finish Bilal early, then I would definitely consider picking him.
Wait, why do you like Burns so much though, Zoomer?
That's my boy, bro. That's my number 1 favorite fighter. I love Burns.
I like Burns, but like what do you like so much about him though? Like
I don't know, man. Like Burns is always.
I mean, he's a
like,
nice
you talk
guy
about
and like
fighters
good fighter,
being inactive, whatever. And he's like, all right, fuck it. Who you got me to fight? This grizzly bear, right? This Chechnyan dude who hasn't been lost in years. Nobody's beaten him. No one's hit him. They hit him 4 times total. What? Sign me that contract, right? He's 50 pounds bigger than me. I don't care. I love that.
Yeah. I mean,
Imagine Gilbert Burns as champion. He would run
number
that,
6 guy calls him out. He's like, all right, let's go.
Like every month.
I think Burns beats Colby, by the way.
I do too. I think Burns beats.
I think
right
Leon
now,
beats
most
Burns
people
though.
in that division.
I think Leon beat
That's
Burns.
a hard fight for Burns. As much as I like Burns, that is a hard fight for him.
I think Burns beats Muhammad. I think Colby beats Muhammad. I think Shavkat beats Muhammad. I think Leon beats Muhammad. But I think Shavkat beats everyone. I think Burns gives Shavkat the toughest fight, though, I believe.
Yeah, I actually think Bilal is beating Shavkat.
No.
I do.
No way.
Dude, there's no way
I
they're
agree.
fighting. There is no way in hell they're letting Bilal.
Shavkat's gonna fuck him
kill
up
that
on the
hype
feet.
train.
Shavkat's gonna Shavkat's gonna commit a murder against Bilal. Like he's gonna put his lights out, I believe. First round.
Yeah,
is my
that could
prediction.
definitely happen.
But I think
yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, I wanted to discuss LeBron James and GSP.
Sure.
All right.
All right, so guys, who do you think would win? LeBron James with 3 years of high-level MMA training where he's very invested. This is not like LeBron James pulling him out of the NBA season. This is like peak physical LeBron James, who is a clean slate, and he has high-level training for 3 years in MMA versus GSP, prime GSP. Who wins?
We got to talk about weights first, right? Because
weight. LeBron's probably going to be around
250.
250.
What's GSP going to be? 85.
GSP is what 185 if he fights in his peak condition.
We'll say 85. We'll say 85.
Yeah, 185 around there. Maybe 190 at max.
Yeah,
LeBron James is 6'9" and 250.
Yeah. I'm taking LeBron.
I'm taking LeBron. I'm taking
GSP all the way.
GSP.
Yeah, dude. So prime GSP,
close, he gets smashed.
You think GSP? LeBron's so much bigger though.
That's the thing.
It's
like
LeBron stop that double leg, and then he crawls up there and he pins his forearm down with his shin, eats an elbow in the mouth.
For 3 years, and learns to do nothing but boxing and stuffing takedowns. I mean, that's a dangerous man. And
also, LeBron's one of the most athletic.
Who GSP out wrestle? You think he's going to be better than those guys?
No, he won't be better than GSP, but he'll be good enough and strong enough to stuff GSP. That's what I think.
I mean, if he once, then he just shoots again.
I think if you give LeBron 3 years to train MMA, and he's like, athletic in MMA too. I mean,
he's one of the most athletic people in any sport.
Yeah.
LeBron.
It's essentially like
a
Cyril
normal
Gahn.
guy.
It's essentially Gahn versus GSP, basically. And I
It's
think
like,
Gahn takes out. It's even more dangerous.
Like LeBron isn't like a random guy. Like you get off the street.
Yeah, LeBron's the most athletic dude in the NBA.
I don't know. I think LeBron could learn more wrestling than Gahn in that amount of time. But go ahead.
Yeah. LeBron.
Well,
what if LeBron just does 3 years of hardcore wrestling and adds a couple of kickboxing classes a week to that? I mean, that's a nightmare.
Then GSP smashes his like.
What if
LeBron
lands on him, Ressa?
He can stop takedown and the ground and pound. Oh, then I don't think he will be able to hit him well. I think he can either stop 3 things, right? He can stop the takedown and ground and pound. He can stop the submissions, or he can stop the striking, right? He's only going to be able to stop one of those with 3 years of training. If he tries to do all 3, GSP is just running him over.
GSP's not going to knock out LeBron.
He doesn't have to.
But
the thing is,
LeBron will not be able to keep up with him, right?
He can knock him out if he practices all takedowns. GSP.
I mean, what if LeBron shows up with Cyril Gahn's kickboxing ability in 2019, 3 years after training?
Then he gets taken down and submitted instantly.
But again, this is Cyril Gahn's kickboxing with wrestling, defense, MMA. I mean, that's if GSP can't take him down, he's screwed.
Well,
I think. I mean,
if he can't take him down the first time, he stays on the outside. It tires him out because fighting's more tiring than basketball. It's such a different thing.
Yeah, but if LeBron lands a strike on GSP, he's done.
But the thing is, okay, what do you think would happen if prime GSP fought I mean, I'll just say Cyril Gahn. Cyril Gahn. You think he would lose to current Cyril? Yeah. Okay. But Cyril Gahn.
But if LeBron with 3 years of training fought Cyril Gahn, he's getting completely and totally embarrassed. It's not even a little.
Oh, I agree with that. But I'm talking Cyril Gahn is a guy that started training in 2016. That means
Cyril Gahn's way bigger than GSP.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If Cyril Gahn in 2019 is in the UFC, do you think the 2019 version of Cyril Gahn beats GSP? That's basically why I'd pick LeBron, because it's 3 years. This dude could literally make. John Jones got to the UFC within 3 years of training. So
but I think that's the special because it's a sport, James, right?
Yeah, no, I think that. Oh, you're right. He did wrestling. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
No, but I'm saying it's a sport. I don't think if you swap their bodies and their minds, right? Do you think GSP and LeBron's body with 3 years of basketball beats GSP or beats LeBron and GSP's body of basketball?
Yeah, but sports fighting is
they're so different.
Weight classes for a reason, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're so different.
I don't think GSP ever beats LeBron. Okay, maybe if GSP was doing everything for 20 years to play basketball. Maybe he could beat LeBron but no, LeBron with 3 years of training in an adult LeBron's body. I actually don't think if you're an adult, I don't think that training helps you that much. I think when you're a kid, you get a better ability from the get go. But yeah, I mean, Guy, what do you think? Do you think GSP or LeBron?
LeBron for free. I just don't see that. I don't see him like if he just. I mean, I think that honestly, if he just spent 2.5 years in wrestling and then went to like a cardio kickboxing class, he'd be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I think the same. Like if he just goes to a couple of kickboxing classes a week and does wrestling, I mean, this dude is literally going to be killing people. You know, I mean, I'm not saying he would be, automatically better than a guy like Ngannou. Maybe LeBron doesn't have like serious KO power naturally or something like that, but I think it's good enough to like beat a guy like a 170-pounder GSP. I think the GSP, like his thing was wrestling and his thing was overall skill. It's just when you're up against a guy that's so massive, like I just don't see it. But now that we're on the topic of GSP, do you guys think that GSP would have beat Yoel Romero?
Ooh,
no.
That's
no.
Interesting. That's an interesting case. Okay, why?
I got GSP.
I think I might choose GSP.
I think he gasses out Yoel.
He's a better striker than Yoel, but Yoel's so dangerous.
But Yoel also gasses out. Like he's got to gas out.
But he'll let you beat the shit out of him for 2 rounds. And the difference between Yoel and some of these other guys that do the same thing is when Yoel tries to go, it's like there's nothing you can do to not get hit by him. Unless you double leg him, and that's
GSP's gonna be way quicker than him, though. You gotta remember, GSP's gonna have a huge speed advantage. And
I think it would honestly play out similarly to the Whitaker Yoel fight. It's just that I think the Whitaker's a better striker than GSP, and
Whitaker's definitely.
Whitaker's definitely a better striker than GSP. Yeah, I mean by not by miles, but GSP was not on the Whitaker level. And I think that wrestling, I mean, like, sure, I think GSP is a better MMA wrestler, but Yoel's impossible to take down.
Yeah, that's what I think. What made GSP so great is mixing the martial arts. He used his karate and stuff to set up takedowns. And Yoel is a complete freak who's huge, and he is a silver medal Olympic wrestler.
Yeah.
I think that is a bad day for GSP. But like, I don't know. Maybe I'm coming across as a GSP hater now. Who knows?
No. I think honestly that's a decent take. Like I honestly wouldn't mind picking Yoel there. I think that Yoel is the best fighter to never win a belt, undisputed title. I think he. Do you guys have another take on that? Who do you think is the best fighter to never?
He may be the most dangerous.
Robert Whitaker.
Well, Whitaker won the belt.
Oh, Whitaker won a belt. Never mind. He won it. Was that a real belt? Or I thought it was an interim.
I
mean, the second fight with Yoel kind of solidified it. Because that was like,
bad. I'm tweaking.
Yeah, that was like the solidifier right there. But he never took it from the undisputed champ, which is Bisping. But like beating Yoel is more impressive than beating Bisping. So I think Bisping would have gotten killed by a lot of guys. I mean, we saw what happened with him and Kelvin Gastelum. Bisping might be the worst UFC, maybe not the worst UFC champion ever. That's probably Matt Serra. Serra.
Yeah, Bisping is like the champion version of Michael Johnson, where he can beat anybody in the world, but also lose to anybody in the world.
Yeah, like he was good. He was a very good fighter. Just again, like some of these, back then I felt like the middleweight division was actually better than it is now for whatever reason. I think that prime Luke Rockhold and I mean like the middleweight division today is.
Prime Luke Rockhold would fuck up Izzy.
No. I disagree.
If he could get a hold of him, if he started with his hands on him, for sure.
If Luke Rockhold,
but the thing is, Rockhold was never a great offensive wrestler.
He was decent. I mean, didn't he beat up Weidman for 5 rounds or whatever, or 4 rounds?
No. He was having a close fight with Weidman, and then Weidman threw a spinning wheel kick, and Rockhold then took him down off of that and destroyed him. When Rockhold got on top of guys, he was like a nightmare.
Like if he gets on top of Izzy,
Prime Rockhold's ground and pound.
Oh yeah, Prime Rockhold.
That's best in the sport.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. But I think Adesanya just picks him apart at range.
Also, I mean, do you think Chris Weidman beats Adesanya?
No,
I
don't think so. I think Weidman was a good champ and all that, but like I still think that Izzy probably beats him. I think just the takedown defense in general. Izzy's still good. It's just, I think that I actually put Whitaker up higher all time.
Wow. I no.
Yeah, I mean, like
You
maybe,
can't.
maybe I don't know. Maybe that's a bad argument, but at least in the middleweight division, I think Whitaker's got a better record.
I think Whitaker's better than Adesanya, but I think Adesanya beats him because he just has the reach advantage and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I think Whitaker's a better fighter. But I think all time.
I actually think if they rematch, Whitaker beats him. If they trilogy.
Honestly, I mean, I think he won the second fight, but like the first fight, like Adesanya knocked him out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Whitaker didn't
I mean,
knock out Adesanya. So it could have just been a bad night for Adesanya. I mean, I don't know. But
okay, well, another
Tracy,
question.
so Lucas, what you're saying is that just because you knock somebody out and get a close decision and you have never beaten this person before doesn't mean that you're not going to beat them next time. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, okay. So what I'm saying with Whitaker is, I think that I
thought
what
I'm hearing?
I think the Whitaker beats Adesanya next because I think Whitaker's still improving, and I think he's gotten better since the rematch. I think that he did enough in the rematch, and I think that Adesanya's past his prime. I actually think that Izzy's prime was like 2020, 2022, or 2020.
4 minutes he spent fighting.
I think it was 2019. I'm sorry, 2019 to 2020. I think that was prime Izzy. 2019 to 2021. That's prime.
Wait,
Izzy.
guys, I have an update.
Is,
Usman versus Rakhmonov is in the works.
From what source?
Combat Talk.
Combat Talk.
Combat Talk.
They've trained together. Usman's about to get destroyed.
Usman's gonna get.
I'm seeing that same thing.
Wow, dude.
All that, like,
what
I've
about
seen
Bilal?
a lot of Shavkat fighting.
What about Bilal?
That's a
they're
shot
not
at Bilal.
Shavkat Bilal. Like they will not let that hype train die to Bilal Muhammad
as a champ.
Dude, I think Shavkat fucks him up.
Yeah, I think it's over.
I think first round finish.
Usman is trying. The reason why he's still competing, he said, is because he wants to show his daughter that you can bounce back from losses, and essentially, it's the bad thing to quit when you've lost. But like, it's sad because if that's his motivation, then he's essentially risking getting KO'd time and time again to show his
he
daughter
wants that belt back
up. Like, I just think that's not a good idea.
He's going to be the new Tyron Woodley.
I think he should move up to 185. He's more skilled than the 185ers, or at least a lot of them.
Who does he fight at 185 though? Dricus?
He could destroy Dricus Duplessis.
I think so.
I think he could fuck Duplessis up.
I think Costa beats him.
Duplessis.
I think he beats Costa too.
No.
Yes, he does, dude. Costa's ass.
No,
Costa's literally.
What's Usman gonna do to Costa?
Jab him up, gas him out.
Usman's not a good striker.
But Costa doesn't have no pop. Costa's got little pillow.
He's got more power than Colby Covington, who wallowed Usman.
Yeah, he does have more power than Covington. And the thing is, Usman. But you're again, there's a skill discrepancy between Usman and.
So Usman's not taking down Costa.
If he's not taking him down, you know what he does? He out jabs him. Costa's shit on the feet. If you think Usman is worse than Costa, then I can't.
I think Costa's better than on the feet than Usman for sure.
I mean, if they weighed the same size, it might be close. But Costa is the size of like a head of steer.
Costa has T-Rex arms and he has no power.
Yeah, but Usman only has power and knocked out a bunch of bums.
The thing is, if Usman moves up, he's gonna make these middleweights look like shit, dude. Like these middleweights are terrible.
Dude, also Usman's old now. Like I don't know if he can really move well.
Costa's fucking, 1 foot out of the game all time, every single time.
He's got to get his secret juice going.
Yeah, I got
Costa, but I got Strickland beating Costa though. I think Strickland beats Costa though. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think Strickland beats up Costa.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you just have to be smart to beat Strickland. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're not smart, you just lose.
Yeah,
I think
middleweights aren't smart. So most of them lose to him, unless
I think Strickland's so underrated in that division. Honestly, like I think Strickland beats smokes Dricus. I think he beats Vittoria. Obviously, they're not going to fight because I think he beats Costa. I think he arguably beat Cannonier. Like that's the number 3 guy, right?
Yeah,
Cannonier's number 3
or number 4, like one of that. Like,
bro, you beat Derek Brunson and get number 4. That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know. Cannonier is not that good. That's who I think Chimaev should fight if he doesn't get the title shot next. Put him against Cannonier, easy win. You know, like I think Robert Whitaker's just way too risky. So I think
Yeah.
Whitaker has a real chance to beat.
I really doubt that Costa fight happens. I don't think that, and they're not giving him Whitaker. That's just not going to happen.
It's stupid. I think Costa. I think they're gonna put Costa against Strickland. I think that's just the fight that makes way more sense. Or Costa against Dricus. I mean, I think that'd be a fun fight. I mean, it'd be short, but it'd be fun.
Dricus just gets mauled.
Yeah, I mean, I think Costa. Lucas, would you pick Costa over Dricus?
I don't know. I think it's a close fight. Like, I actually really
You
don't
hate
think
Costa.
I like Costa. I like his personality a lot. I hate the fact that he ducked Whitaker. That's one thing I hate about him. That he ducked Whitaker.
Shit, I duck Whitaker too, bro. I'm not doing
Yeah, no, I mean, he really ducked him there, but I like his personality. I think he's hilarious. I like his Instagram and all that. I just don't think he's that good. I mean, you look terrible.
All right. What about Aljo versus Costa? Who you got, Lucas?
I mean, in that case, definitely Costa. But Aljo, I mean, listen, the smallest guy that I think could beat Costa, and this is the truth. I'm going to try to think of someone that could beat him. I think that
You
Chandler
just pokes Volk to the body and he lifts him off the ground.
No, wait. Who's like a really good striker? I think Jalen Turner beats him.
Gotcha.
Yes. I think Turner beats Costa.
No.
Yeah.
Costa
dude.
takes him down.
But you actually do?
Unless Costa tries to take him down, he gets outstruck and pieced up for 3 rounds. I'm not even saying he finishes him. I just think 30-27. I think
Jalen Turner
yes
beats Paulo Costa? Like, for real?
But the thing is, Costa, if he doesn't offensively grapple,
he's gonna offensively
which
grapple.
I don't think he does. I think he's going to
So
go
he's
out
just
there
gonna
and try to
body
bully
hook Jalen, and it's gonna be like that scene in The Incredibles when Mr. Incredible throws the dude through all the walls. He's going through the cage. He's gonna bounce back and get hit with the Undertaker arm.
I don't
He's gonna
think
get
Costa's skilled enough
smashed.
I don't even think he's skilled enough to land.
Oh no.
He's skilled enough to land once.
All right, maybe Costa beats him, but okay, like
Costa or Colby, who wins?
I mean, I think Volk beats Colby. That's why I think some of these lightweights can beat Costa.
You think Volk beats Colby?
Yeah, I think he beats Colby Covington. I think Volkanovski it could be the lightweight champion. And if you think he could be
I think he's the
lightweight champion,
biggest ranked guy Volk could beat.
oh, the biggest, I would say it's definitely Colby. I don't think. Oh, wait. I think he beats Neil Magny, who's bigger than Colby. I think he beats a bunch of these 70-pounders. I think Volk could literally beat a ton of 70-pounders. He loses to Usman. He loses to Shavkat. He loses to Bilal.
Leon fucks him up.
Wait, I think he beats
Everybody at 170 fucks him. What?
I think he beats Bilal. Hold on. If
No. You don't
did
think
to
LeBron
Islam
James
is
with 3 years loses to GSP, but you think Volkanovski beats Bilal Muhammad?
Volkanovski is literally a top 5 all time, and GSP is a 170.
So is GSP.
We're talking about. Hold on. You're right. We're talking about 170-pound GSP welterweight going to fight a heavyweight who is the most athletic dude we could think of. Volkanovski.
He's never thrown a punch before.
But I think that Volkanovski is the most athletic guy at 145, and if we're putting him up against these shitty pound 170-pound guy,
shitty.
no, but he beats Colby.
Bilal's not shitty either. I mean, as much
I truly think he beats Colby Covington.
What does he do to?
I think I like Volk enough to agree with that. Like, just
Exactly.
your emotional spot, I want to agree with it, so I'm gonna do it.
I can't
no. But the thing is, the question is, what does Colby do better than Islam? And hold on, wait a second. Colby's smaller than Islam. Colby's smaller than Islam. And I think that's why I think that I think
Islam at 170 is not going to be drained as much. So like him
versus that's a good point. Maybe 170-pound Islam could maybe beat Volk. That's a good point. But I think that Volk.
I think Volk is better. I think Islam's better than Colby though. So like.
That's why I think. I mean, you're right. I think the weight cutting thing is tricky.
Yeah,
because
I think the weight cutting
170
really
could be more dangerous for Volk.
Yeah, I think he really had a bad weight cut and stuff like that, especially. And I think.
But hold on. One thing I want to say though is the weight cut is supposed to help you with the strength. You know what I mean?
But
saying Islam can't even get his advantage with the weight cut. It's like, does he really beat Volk? Like, I don't know.
At 170, I think Islam fucks up Volk. Like fucks him up. So I think Islam.
I don't know, man. I don't think anyone.
I think if
fucks
Islam
up Volk
rematches
around
Volk,
his
I think
weight.
he makes it look easy.
The reason I think Volk beats Colby is because when he cuts down to lightweight, I think he's like legit lightweight. And I think that Colby is a small welterweight. And I think that Volk is so much better on Colby's not going to do anything to Volk on the ground. Colby
I mean, he
doesn't
could maybe
have a
hold
better,
him on.
you can't even say that Colby has the better gas tank. Volk, when has Volk ever gassed out? Never.
No,
Like Volk has some of the best cardio.
Yeah,
I think Volk fucks him up, dude.
dude, at 170 pounds,
Yeah, dude.
who knows how good Volk's cardio will be at 170?
It'll be even better, bro. It'll be even
I don't know.
Maybe it'll slow down a little bit,
He
but
may slow down. Like that's a fact. Do you think Volk beats Leon?
no.
No, yeah.
No, I don't think he beats Leon.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
I'm not-
Islam beats Leon
crazy.
either. I don't think Islam.
I
beats
think he
Leon.
loses to plenty of 170 pounders. I just don't think he loses to Colby.
How do you think Islam does against Burns? Zoomers also.
I mean, Islam and Burns. I think Islam. I think he beats Burns.
Really?
I think
he
Burns wins.
pieces him up.
Zoomer,
think-
who
What's
wins,
up?
Burns or Islam?
Oh,
At 170.
at 170.
I think Islam wins. It's the easy answer for me.
I mean, Volk dropped Islam.
But that was a weight cut. Like,
But
training
also
weight.
Islam, I just think the 55ers are better than 70 pounders. I just think that whenever someone moves up, they always show the level. You know, they're always a level above the guys above them. And I think that Islam is a champion. Burns has never been a champion. I think Islam is better than him.
I don't know, man. Like his jiu-jitsu would neutralize a lot of it. And Volk, I mean, if you're getting dropped by a 45er, Burns hits really hard. The overhand shot and that looping left are what Volk was messing him up with. And Burns' overhand is a real go to sleep thing. Like that's what he hits people with.
Who does he put to sleep with that?
Jason Sago.
Yeah.
He dropped Hamza
Old
on his
man
face
with-
with it.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't count
old man
that.
Damian Maya.
He did hit Damian Maya with that too.
Yeah, not with the left hook. He hit it, Damian, with some what was it? A straight. It was like a left hook.
It was an
Actually, yeah,
overhand.
it was an overhand right, not a right. It was a left. It was like a lead hand, right? Didn't he hit him?
Yeah,
with
he
lead hand?
he jabbed him into the, or like he hit him with the
Yeah,
right into the like bottom. I don't know, striking stuff.
And then
but,
he said Poha, right?
Yeah,
Burns
probably.
always
That's
says-
kind of what he does.
What does that Poha thing mean? Apparently, it means come.
Let's go. Like,
Oh,
come
okay,
on,
okay,
bring
got it. Come on, yeah. That was the sick performance from Burns. I think that was his best performance at 170. That being said, yeah, guys, I think we did a lot for this episode, so I think now's a good time to wind it down. But I thought this was a good debate, guys. I really did. So we should have everyone's socials in the description, and yeah.
Until next time. Thank you guys for coming on.
All right, see you boys.
Peace.
Peace.